On today's question of faith, why do we bless objects? Hey everybody, this is Question of Faith. I'm Mike Hayes. I am the Young Adult Ministry Director here in the Diocese of Cleveland.
Gobble gobble, I'm Father Damian Ferentz, the Vicar for Evangelization.
I'm Father Eric Garris. I'm the Vocation Director.
Very nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's nice
I don't have
to
any turkey
you.
sounds, so
Nice to have
You can
back.
try.
I kind of surprised you all with that. You weren't expecting that.
I wasn't.
I definitely can't do what you just did, Father Eric. But
No, it's more about...
you can't do it. Yeah, can't do
Yeah.
it. Now we gotta try. It's like trying to roll my R's in Spanish. I can't really do that
Yeah,
either.
You can't roll your R's and you can't gobble your O's.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Turkey.
Turkey who?
Caw!
No, that doesn't make sense.
I know. You like absurd humor, so I thought...
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Should we say that we might be videoed?
We're sort of practicing our video today.
Yeah.
So if we'll probably put at least a snippet of this one up as a preview.
Right. We do have, there's rules on the wall. It
There
says,
are, yes.
You're on camera, sit up straight, be mindful of your hands, be mindful of your movements. That
Right.
is playing with your hands.
Right.
I said I felt like I was in fourth grade and that like my teacher had the
Right.
rules of the classroom up of
I'm
like,
playing with my hands. Or
yeah, that's fine.
I could make a pig with my hands.
Oh, very nice. That's very
nice.
good.
Show the
that's
camera.
very nice. Yeah, good.
This
yeah.
is
Well, there's
this
so
is
many
the promo.
cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that kind
absolutely.
of what we're doing?
Yeah, Thanksgiving
It's
as well
it's
as
that
our
week.
question this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Thanksgiving
What,
time.
what are you most
Time
thankful
for
for? We should go
Jell-O.
around and do that.
Probably just life.
Just
My life and others.
very nice.
Yes. Just generally speaking, that I'm alive and I have good friends.
Yeah, like y'all. That's what I was gonna say. The two of you.
Oh.
Start. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Pretty
He always
smooth.
does that. He always
Yeah.
does that.
It's pretty smooth.
Yeah. I can't wait. One of my favorite Thanksgiving traditions is to listen to Alice's Restaurant by Arlo
very nice.
Guthrie.
Oh.
It's like a 25-minute song.
It is. I used to use a snippet of it all the time on the food show that I produced when we'd like be bumping in at
Yeah.
everything. When we'd come back, we'd always say, "You can get
Get
anything you want at Alice's Restaurant." Bum, bum, bum.
Jump right in. Have you
Those
ever
are
heard that
good.
song?
Don't try to play that song on your phone during the show or you'll get canceled.
Yeah.
He's
You
still
don't have-
bitter about this.
You guys, was it something I did or you
No,
did?
No.
I did
He
it.
he
Oh.
did it,
It
and
was edited out.
we checked with the folks and the higher ups.
Thanksgiving
And they said,
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
is a special night.
My goal is working already because you always say I'm like an agent of chaos on this show.
"That's true."
I don't think I've ever said an agent of
You said I
chaos.
come on and things happen and we don't talk about the topic and then
Agent of Chaos would
and
be a
then
great
what
name
was
for an indie band. Just-
you the one episode where you said that you feel like how I feel scatterbrained or something. I took it as a
it was
compliment.
something
Yeah.
like that.
I took it as a great
As you
compliment.
should.
It
As you
was.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agent of Chaos would be a great name for an indie band. Which is,
Sounds like
yeah.
progressive rock,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
It's a
Features
Steve
Steve Brick.
Shock. Yeah.
Yeah,
You listen to
right,
it at the
yes,
Rumpus
very nice.
Room.
Exactly. So our question this week.
What?
Believe it
We're
or
not
not,
just
we're not just talking about
chewing the
Thanksgiving.
fad.
and-
We're not just gabbing it up.
What? We have a topic,
You have confessions, and
I do,
Not too
yeah.
long, so that's another
so let's
thing.
get on it.
So
ahead,
why
Mike.
the question came in and said, "Why do we bless objects?" And the person who wrote in also said, "Does it make them magical?"
My precious.
My precious.
Well, Father Garris, this is a topic that's near and dear to your heart, so why don't you begin?
Because I'm a holy man.
You're a blesser. That's
I'm a
your
blesser.
name on the
You're a
streets.
blesser.
Yeah. I walk around and they're like, "There goes the blesser." So, what?
Bless 'em.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad
I
Spider-Man
think
villain.
I told Father Ferentz, my distinguished philosophy professor, who taught me that distinctions are important, distinctions matter. So,
Yes.
we have to make a couple distinctions. When something is blessed, what happens? So, when you bless something, it means that it no longer exists in the realm of the secular, but rather it is set apart. So for something to be holy, it's set apart. It has a particular purpose rather
Got it.
than just its own thing. And I think part of it is we're incarnational people. Matter matters, and so the matter that we hold near and dear to us, be it a rosary, a bracelet, or whatever, it reminds us of our sacred calling to be holy in the world.
Got it.
Is that good?
Nice. Yeah, that's nice.
That's a good distinction. Yeah.
Right, and I think there's also, it's not, when we bless something, there's a difference between the sacrament and a sacramental.
Right.
Right, so the sacrament is the thing itself. It's instituted by Christ to give grace. I think the sacramental is not a sacrament. Like a consecrated host is in a different realm than a rosary.
Right.
Certainly.
Right, and so our care for the sacraments, that matters, but as does our care for sacred objects that are sacred or set apart. I always think of in baptism, after the rite of baptism, the child has become holy, has been set apart, and immediately what we do is we sign that child with oil so as to signify that. In churches, when churches are dedicated and consecrated, you have the candles on the side which signify this is not just a secular building, this is a church. It has a holy purpose, and it's a reminder of God's presence among us, Christ's presence.
Right. So do you have in your glove compartment of your car the Book of Blessings? Do you keep it there?
I don't, but on iBreviary, there's a Book of Blessings.
Okay.
There is, yes.
It was one of the ordination gifts I was given 20 years ago. I think I put it on my registry. But I've blessed many strange things, I think.
What's the strangest one?
Well, I blessed a llama. At the they have a blessing of pets that's in there, and on October 4th, maybe in 2003, my first year at St. Mary's in Hudson, there were mostly it was dogs and cats, but people brought like a snake and an aquarium and some other things.
So then why would be so I can see why we bless sacred objects.
Yes.
Right. So like a crucifix, an image of Our Lady.
I was just going to ask this. I said, how does this work with
but also
pets and
fishing
boats
gear,
and
many cars.
Right.
You can bless a field.
Yes. Right. So
a factory. I've blessed a factory for a former parishioner.
I blessed a restaurant, Timetable in Bay Village. Father Tim Groh and I went in there before they opened.
Nice.
So what's the distinction there?
So you're the one who wanted to talk about this.
I did. Mike was someone who emailed. But I think there's this sense of like God's protection, and also too like with work stuff. Like there's a sacred, not a sacred nature to work, but there is a sense that like you're participating in the work of God and creation, and like
in this space or this place. God, what happens here is dedicated to God, and you're asking for His blessing upon.
Right. Yeah. God in all things, kind of thing too.
I was just in Indianapolis for the National Catholic Youth Conference.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that.
When I enter a hotel room and when I leave, I always bless it.
Yeah, very nice.
So my prayer is always, Lord Jesus Christ, you who made your dwelling among the human race, I ask that you dwell within this place and banish from it any and all powers of unlove and darkness. And then I always pray for the next person who is going into that room. So I bless the room.
If you celebrate Mass somewhere, the space is blessed by the fact that you celebrate Mass somewhere. So often when I'm on the road, I will celebrate Mass on that little table in front of the TV. That becomes the altar. And I often pray for the next person who will be in the room and those who have been in this room, because who knows what's going on in that hotel room.
So I think that's the blessing. Like we ask that God's presence is everywhere, right? In Him we live and move and have our being. But I think that blessing particularly calls to mind it's for us.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Good. So I was going to say that we had to practice blessings in liturgical practicum in the course I'm taking. And I had said to Father Trenta, he gave us the choice of things that we wanted to do, and so I did pets, by the way. But I said to him, you should really, I've noticed this at Sagrada Familia this year, that people just walk up to Father Paco at the end of Mass with any number of items,
sure.
That's and ask him to bless them. Yeah, sure. And so I told Father Trenta, I said, you should let people pick the blessing they want to do for their little enactment, but then on the last class, you should come up to them and just say, "Here, bless my rosary," and see what they do.
Right,
because that's what's really going to happen.
Upon diaconal ordination, we were told as a deacon, you can bless.
Sure. Yes.
And as a layperson, you can bless.
Yeah, there's certain ones that people can do. Yes.
Yeah, you can bless a parent can bless their children and various things. But
the pet one actually is one that
I remember being told as deacons you're bound to the form, meaning that the blessing occurs within a liturgical action, so there should be some reading of scripture.
Yes.
And that is nice because it's not just may Almighty God bless us for the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. But it does, I think it makes it sacred, and it's not just another thing we're doing. We're proclaiming scripture, we're proclaiming who God is in that moment.
Yeah, exactly. I always say these are just reminders that God is present for us. You
Right.
know? And we call God's blessing down on these things.
Right. Occasionally, a penance that I'll give every so often is like people will say, I don't have enough time. I'm like, well, how many times do you look at your phone a day? And I say, for your penance, I want you to put a sacred image as your background, just as that like reminder, God is present, that I can pray, that I can look to Him, and so it's just those little things of like, I wear a little, Chotki bracelet, as does Father Damian, like that I pray with, and crosses, and so like all these things matters, and they call to mind the presence of God. That's why we bless things.
What's the strangest thing you've ever blessed? He said his before.
I don't know. Let me think. You can't throw me. Let me think.
Okay.
I've blessed. You bless rosaries, you bless all that kind of stuff. I bless dogs, cats, animals. Yeah. I think one year there was a bearded dragon at like a blessing of pets. Usually that's when the weird things happen.
Yeah, we had a chameleon one year at the place I was at. Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before. In the Book of Blessings, the first category is for people, and one of the blessings that I find most dear is the one for a mother who has suffered a miscarriage. And they also have it for parents who have suffered miscarriage. And a lot of people are not aware of those prayers, and when you make them aware of them, they're so appreciative and grateful that the Church has considered their experience and has some very healing prayers at that moment. Nice. I like those a lot. And so it's kind of cool how the structure of the Book of Blessings is set up, because it starts with people and then it makes its way.
Right, you've got gymnasiums and office buildings. And
then there's blessing of homes. And the other thing we could talk about too is that you can bless things more than once. So every year you can do a house blessing, just an annual thing, right? And get the chalk out and mark the home. Yeah.
Every year we would bless dorm rooms on college campuses that I've been at, so it's been fun.
Same at seminary.
Yeah.
We'd start the year with that.
House blessings are fun, because oftentimes they'll invite you over for dinner and you kind of walk through the house and, throwing holy water everywhere you go. That is something that people do kind of get not weird about, but I said weird, so I guess I should just commit to the fact, get weird about, where I'll bless a rosary and they're like, well, Father, you didn't use any holy water. I'm like, no, the prayer itself blesses.
Yeah. When I was a kid, down at St. Wendelin, we would do the blessing of homes, and there were about 7 families involved. So it was like a continuous meal. Is that what they call it? A progressive meal? Yeah. So you would start at one house for an appetizer,
yes,
then a salad, then soup, then an entree, and then all the way to dessert. And we'd start in Cleveland, a few houses there, make our way to Parma, and then it was always over Grandma Helen's house in Fairview Park for the last,
dessert.
Yeah,
nice. That's fun.
It was a cool thing. And then the priest would come along, Father Mark Feder at the time, and he'd sing a verse of "We Three Kings" at each home.
Ah,
yeah,
I got it. Yeah, nice. And what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Or are you here in the city? Or?
Yeah, I'll be with my mom. My family will be getting together. So.
Very nice.
I'm with my brother and a few priest friends.
Nice.
Miguel?
I'll be with my wife and new dog, and we'll just be home. This traditionally has been Mike and Marion's holiday, because we used to travel a lot. When we lived in Buffalo, we would go back to New York to A, Thanksgiving, B, Marion has a family that is gigantic, and they have a big family Christmas party every year, and then 3, Christmas, and maybe even New Year's. We might even stay for a while. And it just got too expensive to keep doing that. So we said, and I don't like to drive, so I wasn't driving 6 hours, 12 hours really, 6 up and 6 back. So I was like, I'm not doing that. And so we just said, Thanksgiving, we always stay home now. And so we've just kind of kept that as our tradition now. And we just make a turkey and we stay home, and we have turkey for a few days. And it's been fun.
So the night before Thanksgiving is usually, I don't know if it still is, I think it's like the rowdy night where all the college kids are back. So we started the tradition when I was in seminary that a bunch of us would get together for so it's Father Jeremy Mersweiler, Father Jacob Bear, Father Mike Dank, Father Pat Anderson. And typically what we do is we meet up for dinner, and then we go to Wal-Mart, and we just kind of walk around Wal-Mart, to see what's going on there.
Which one?
Anyone. All of them, actually. No, it depends on, and then we usually go to a movie. So that's been
nice.
We'll have dinner, movie, Walmart, and we check out the Black Friday deals.
Speaking of Walmart, about a month ago on a Sunday after 11 a.m. Mass, before the Browns game, I stopped at the Wal-Mart in Parma to pick up a football because I was going over a friend's house, and they didn't have a football, and we wanted to throw it around at halftime.
And Father Damian, when he watches a football game, likes to...
I usually hold a football in my hand. This past Sunday, I was actually wearing a Browns helmet for the last quarter. It got crazy. I won't get into that. But anyway, I go to Walmart. It's a Sunday. I go to the one in Parma. I was probably greeted by 30 people just smiling. Hey, Father. I was like, what the heck is this? I felt so welcome at Walmart.
That's good.
In my clerics. I know, but I've been to many other Walmarts, and I wear my clerics often. But I never had that kind of reception. I don't know if it was just the day, if it was being in Parma.
Were they workers or like
just a bunch of the customers and some workers.
I thought it was the Walmart greeters.
Yeah, they don't give out stickers anymore.
They were all in a good mood.
That's good.
Everyone was happy.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy in Walmart.
Anyways.
I guess.
This isn't a plug for Walmart. It's just sharing an experience.
Yeah, thank you.
This if Walmart wants to sponsor, feel free.
Oh,
yeah.
By the way, before I forget, when you said that Marion had a gigantic family, in my mind, I imagined like Andre the Giant, and everyone at the party was just like 7 foot tall, and it made me laugh in my heart.
That's like my family. My dad, who is deceased, was like 6'3", 250, and was the little Bobby, the smallest of all his brothers.
That's
it's like
funny.
just
Really?
like these giant human beings.
Yeah, I might be I was the tallest in my immediate family. My dad was 5'9". My mom was like 5'6". I guess
You're
my
the
sister's
tallest,
5'4".
right?
No, Adam's like 5'11". My mom was 5'2". Short people live longer. Let's just say that.
Father Damian also doesn't like walking into liturgical processions with me.
No, I always try to find someone who's about my height to process into the church with. Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah. You
Anyway.
don't want a sort of Mutt and Jeff situation.
Yeah,
right.
That's not good.
Like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Twins. That was a good movie. I like that.
When I was a seminarian, and we had big liturgies down here, and by big, I don't mean like a bunch of tall people. I mean grand in scale. I was often the book bearer because Bishop Pillow and I were about the same height, so I wouldn't block him out. Yeah.
I always forget that Bishop Malesic has bifocals when I'm the acolyte, and I have to hold the book, and I hold it up too high, and he's always pushing.
I have the service. I usually stand where I want to stand. I stand a foot closer, and then when they get there, I take a step back because I too have.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. I'll give him that tip. Pro tip from Father Damian.
Yeah, but he's the bishop. He could push you.
Yeah, he could stay wherever he wants. Yeah.
Stand down.
I talked about the Browns briefly.
Yes.
I was on my way home from NCYC with Bishop Malesic and Bishop Woost, and I was driving them back, and it was about 12:30. We were like kind of getting into that weird dais, like in the radio. I'm like, if it pleases the car, I would like to listen to the Browns game at 1 o'clock. Like, if you must. I must listen.
Very nice.
It's important. Good job, Coach Stefanski. You good Catholic man, you.
Yeah, we know you're listening.
Absolutely.
You listen every week.
Big win over Pittsburgh. Christy Cabaniss cried.
I texted her.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I did too, but yeah.
I didn't.
Just a brown and orange heart.
Ah, very nice. So let's do a little church search. St. Francis Xavier in Medina. Have both of you been there?
Correct.
Yes, Father Anthony Saba.
Yes,
Yeah.
Father Tony. Yep.
I remember being there for Father Steve Breck's brother's funeral. Father Steve's got some family down there.
Ah, okay.
And I remember during COVID, they had in the rectory, I think it was. Do you remember they put that monstrance out for people to adore in their parking lot? Do you remember that? Or the
Yes.
tabernacle?
Yes.
So,
Nice.
yeah, I was with, back to NCYC, there was a group from Francis Xavier who was there, which was good. The
Yeah.
Deacon Bob was there.
Yes, Tim Bob. Yeah. Saw him last night.
His wife, Dawn Kavanaugh.
Don Kavanaugh. Last
Yeah.
night, a little after 8 o'clock, Father Saba, who's a good friend of mine, texted me. He said, by the way, Christy Cabaniss, he spelled her name wrong, did a real fine job with our ministry leaders here on Saturday morning. She's very articulate, very engaging. You are truly blessed to have her on your staff. Whatever you can do to get her out in the parishes more frequently, but it would be a very good thing.
Yes.
I concur.
Absolutely.
Even though she's
100%.
a Steelers fan.
Yeah. But Francis Xavier's one of two in Medina? There's Holy Martyrs and Francis Xavier.
Correct.
In the city of Medina,
city.
Yeah.
but in the county there's more. But
Right.
Yes.
And Francis Xavier's one of the old. It's old. It's an old.
It's definitely old. Yeah.
Yeah. Building wise, not
Correct.
demographic wise.
Right.
For
See, distinctions. We're back to distinction making.
Right. Yeah.
Last night, Mark Temecco, who's a deacon candidate, did his mass enactment there. So I was out there last night, and let me tell you, He is a beloved person in that parish. He had about 60 people at his mass enactment last night. And most of his classmates, me and my other classmates, we all went. A good deal of his family. But then just like random parishioners. And there was a very rambunctious little family sitting in the first row, and Mark did not get distracted. It was like,
do
really
they have
good job.
Do they have a real priest do it, or how
Yeah.
so is it a real mass?
No,
then?
it's not. We don't. We make sure that we tell people this is not a real mass.
Fake
We're not
mass.
using.
Does he go through like the full prayer of Eucharistic prayer and everything?
without the objects? So he
Oh,
doesn't.
so
we use
got
like
it.
a little piece of paper for the host.
Okay,
and
because I remember when I did my
we don't
practice.
pour wine. And
Okay.
the chalice just water.
'Cause I was gonna say, like, if you've got the stuff and the stuff,
Yeah.
you got the stuff.
Yep.
Mark
Stuff.
Temecco, Holy Name, class of 1994 is my classmate.
That's right. Yeah.
All hail Holy Name with
That was
loyal hearts.
me
we
starting the
proclaim.
Green Wave.
Hey, Lake Catholic, congratulations, volleyball champs.
That's right.
Two
Back to back.
diocesan high schools right here representing.
Back to back, they have there's a bunch of girls on the team from St. Gabe's, where I was assigned for a year. So
Nice.
hail Lake Catholic, sons and daughters cry. Hail Lake Catholic, your banners proudly fly. The spirit deep inside us shines for the green and gray.
All hail Holy Name with loyal hearts. We proclaim it.
You already
we will
did that.
serve the
Mike, do you have
green
any-
and white.
Do you have any?
Let's get to the scriptures.
I'm not as loyal to my high school as you are.
Agent of
George. In
Did
the
you go to a
opposite.
diocesan high school?
I did not.
That's why.
I went to a public school.
That's why.
Much loyal. Most of my friends are more loyal to their college, I would say, than to their high school. But that's different in different places.
We went to the seminary, so
That's
high
right.
School.
Yeah, I got loyalty.
Speaking of the scriptures this weekend, Archbishop Timothy Broglio will be here in town. He'll celebrate the 4:30 Mass on Saturday at the Cathedral.
Young adults.
That's our young adult Mass, so come on out. Please pre-register for our post-Mass reception, if you would.
I'll be at the reception. I think I already told you that. I got Mass at I think I have Mass at St. Clement on Saturday and the Cathedral on Sunday.
Chef Kevin from the Cleveland Sandwich Shop will be doing the catering, who's very nice. Yes, so it'll be good. It won't be sandwiches; it'll be actual food, but it'll be good.
Chef Kevin.
Chef Kevin.
Well,
he's not a sponsor. Like
Yeah.
Wal-Mart
Speaking of Chef Kevin, what do you think about these readings?
Our king is also a shepherd.
Boom. That's what I was going to go with.
Our king is a shepherd.
Our shepherd is a king. Our king is a shepherd.
Well,
Same thing.
our job is done here.
No. I love
We're
that
done.
thing though, because I think so. It's Solemnity, Jesus Christ, King of the universe. I've done the thing before. The King of the universe desires to be the king of your heart. But I think like time and time again, the king is someone who's not accessible. Like I think of that. Like he's off on his throne. He's in a palace. Like our king gets his hands dirty, and I myself will look after my sheep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift has a song called "King of My Heart." I'd play it now, but I would get canceled.
But I love, but like,
Let it go.
but it's also
Let
David.
it
David,
go.
David's the king shepherd, right? He's the shepherd boy who becomes the king.
Yes.
That's right.
And where's Jesus
Shepherd
born?
boy.
Yeah, shepherd boy. And where's Jesus born? In Bethlehem with the sheep. He's the king.
Put in a
That's what-
manger.
Put in a manger, house of bread.
There's a lot
The
going on.
birthplace of the king.
Yeah,
No.
that's going to be a really confusing homily if you go all over that place like that. I'm just going to stick to the basics.
Keep it simple.
Thanks.
God bless you.
I will also be reflecting this weekend on these set scriptures at Sagrada Familia. And,
In Espanol or in English?
in
El,
Ingles-
el,
in
el, you
Ingles.
should say el rey es el pastor.
El pastor, sí.
Sí.
Claro.
Oh, I just learned some Swahili, by the way.
Oh, very nice.
But now, see, you bring out this
bring out
in
the
me.
distraction.
We're back on the video. I have no
Jambo,
idea.
Harambe.
Very nice.
Harambe.
Harambe is how are you? And I just learned how to say good. And it's like,
Harambe is also the gorilla that was killed in the Cincinnati Zoo back in
Oh, right.
2015 or 16.
maybe it's not Harambe. I think it is.
Do you remember we had a guy in the
Harambe.
seminary, Andrew Karpinski, who wore a Harambe ugly Christmas sweater.
I don't think I've ever seen
And
that.
everyone would say, rest
Interesting.
well, sweet prince.
That's
Are we
weird.
done? No, I don't think.
I don't
think
care.
We should do like a 24-hour
No.
podcast-a-thon starting a half hour
I
ago.
was even
No,
going to
'cause-
say what I was reflecting on, but no,
Yeah, Mike,
but
please.
fine.
Yeah, no, well,
see if I care.
yeah, we're just like-
ignore me. See if I care.
Well, no, you got to leave the people wanting for more.
That's correct.
It's called a teaser.
Yeah, they'll go like Ryan Seacrest. Like There'll be more after the break.
The teaser that I was going to say,
Go ahead.
and we'll be back after this break.
No, we don't take breaks.
Is, oftentimes we think about Christ the King, and we try to think of who's a good example of Christ the King. And a lot of times we have pretty poor examples of Christ the King in all of us. And I have to remind myself all the time is I don't come to Mass for anybody but Christ the King. And so that's I'll be riffing on that a little bit.
Riffing
Riffin.
with Mike Hayes.
Riffing with Mike Hayes, Tuesdays and Thursdays on NBC. So, happy Thanksgiving.
We're done?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I think we're just getting started.
Turkey's done.
They should just play that over and over again.
Who does the cooking for Thanksgiving? And
My brother.
your brother, nice.
Are you bringing any sort of pie?
I'll bring beer.
Beer pie?
Yeah.
Do you cook at all?
I make, no. I clean. I'll set up the table and I'll clean. I can make an omelet, but I'm not a
You
cook.
grill chicken.
I can grill.
Yeah.
That's not cooking. That's grilling.
We're back to distinctions.
Distinctions.
Whatever.
Cooking versus
I
grilling.
do what I do, and
I'm making it,
everyone
yeah.
has gifts.
Mike, are you going to be the cook?
I am the cook in the house most of the time.
My mom's going to cook. I have to cook a pie.
Huh?
Pie.
Bake
Apple
pie.
pie.
Bake
yeah,
pie.
you bake a pie. Maybe I'll
opposed to
grill a
cooking.
pie.
A meat pie, like Australia.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and we'll have this and a whole lot more next time on Question of Faith.